Hey guys! In these last episodes we have dropped the old broken keel, made a whole new one and get it back in position attached tight under the hull. We have been pouring more than 4 tons of leads, then we have spent several days covering and protecting the new keel with primer fiberglass to finish with an epoxy painting. We are both relieved that part's over and excited to have accomplished such an unusual work. The new keel is now all ready for sailing and we can move on to the next step. Like all good mechanical, ORIYO's engine could have worked for years as long as it was maintained seriously. And it was. The only but fatal issue it met was time. It's a Perkins Primer 50, so it's 50 horsepower with a V-drive shaped inverter, meaning the engine is facing backwards, connected to a regular prop shaft. Its particularity, the layout inside the boat can only accept this very kind of inverter. We couldn't go through ORIYO's renovation without inspecting every inches of her engine, and the best way to do so was to remove it from the boat. So we have found a place in a container, lifted the engine up and out of the boat and set it into the container. Now we have all access around the engine to start dismantling and checking every part. The more we removed the components of the engine, the more we noticed how damaged it was. Time hasn't been merciful with it. We learned later that the most likely explanation was that with time, humidity came through the exhaust pipe along the waterlock system up to the piston chamber, bringing corrosion within all the vital parts of the engine. I am not saying that this is the only reason, but it has been described to us by several professionals. Meanwhile, we drained the crankcase from the old oil, and how surprised were we to see this clear oil pouring out. This is another proof that this boat has been so well maintained.
Okay, so to get rid of the old oil, it's not that easy because I think there's a lot of people who are doing it, which is nice for the environment, of course. But so far the containers are almost all full.
It's crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 or 8 or 10.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, so as you can see, the pistons are getting up and down, but not properly. They are not able to go all the way through the cylinder to the top or bottom side. And we assume that it is because it didn't work for so many years. Just get like rusted a lot, and it's not in a good condition anymore, sadly.
It is a good tip that when you don't use your boat for a while to secure the exhaust gas outlets to prevent humidity from getting inside. However, now we have to find solutions to get another one.
Hey guys, today we are starting to work on our new engine. New, it's not pretty much new, but we will explain that to you.
We had major constraints to choose another engine. Of course, the budget limit was one of them, but more importantly, it was the layout of the engine compartments and the V-drive shaped inverter. Our choice was limited to find another Perkins Primer 50, which we did. We found one used for €2,100, not too far. The only thing, it was meant to be an industrial water pump, so it doesn't have the features for boat use. Which means there will be several steps to get it ready. First, we dismantle this new old engine to check inside.
Big step today. We are removing on the new engine both the timing belts and the cylinder head gaskets. This is a very important part on this engine, as we need to be sure that they are both in a good condition. So for that part, our mechanics actually is here and is doing it himself. We are just watching and learning. Okay, so these are the cylinders. They are in a much better condition than the old ones. Okay, so this part is the cylinder head and the cylinder head gaskets. The famous one goes right here all around. It will be changed.
Then we choose which parts are still good on our old engine to get ready the new one and adapted it for marine life. Mainly we got the exchanger, the water pump, main elements for cooling system, as well as the inverter. Of course, it is crucial to make these parts controlled by a professional, which we did. And then we needed to buy all of those accessories new, like hoses, seals, gaskets, sleeve clamps, and so on and so forth.
Today's work was very helpful. We managed to get the cylinder head done, and our mechanic told us that it was in a very good condition.
The next part is to clean and paint the engine and to allow the new piece of the engine.
This is the work for next week. Okay, something else to add?
No.
You done?
No, it's cold. I want to go inside.
Okay, so I think this is time for tea. Back to the container, we are heading to the next part, which is the cleaning process. As well, we are using some elements from the old engine that are still in good condition. And for them, we as well are cleaning them and paint them and then put back on the new engine. So yeah, that's step for today, cleaning. So what I'm doing here is I'm cleaning some elements of the old engine that we will put on the new one. This is not something very great, and I'm very careful for the environment because I'm using diesel, which is, well, not a good product, but at least it's a very good one when it comes to remove grease. Next step would be to sand the elements, and then a last step with some acetone to make it ready to be painted.
First, we applied a primer paint that resists high temperatures. Then we add several coats of engine paint to protect all the parts from corrosion. We chose green and matte black.
Just to be sure that we won't have any difference between two elements, we need to be very sure that every element that we will remove will fit on the new one.
And as it is not a perfect world, we noticed the crankcases were different on each engine. The one we bought was smaller, And to fit under the motor unit down in the engine room, we had to take the crankcase from our old engine.
Hey you guys, today it's the start of the new part for the engine, which is putting back on every part on the new engine, so it will be ready for one day, hopefully, getting back into the boat. This is some nice perspective because it is finally getting to rebuild the engine. After having checked with our mechanics the whole cylinder head systems, we've seen that even this engine is not brand new, it hasn't been used a lot. It's almost just as new, so that was a good opportunity to get this one. On the new engine, with our mechanics, we put back almost every part. So we worked on the crankcase. Now we put actually the crankcase from the old engine on the new one. Putting off all the parts and the elements from the old engine was good for us to do because it was just a question of removing bolts, nuts and screws and storage carefully every part of the old engine. But to build back the new one, it is very important that every part is add on the engine correctly. For that we helped him, but he was leading the maneuver because it is so important that everything is hang on the new engine properly. So after receiving the new elements, we as well put them on the new engine with, of course, our mechanics to help and to drive the whole maneuver.
One of the typical marine adaptation concerns the cooling system through seawater.
Basically, our engine had this kind of two-step cooling system with the cooling liquid being cooling down by the seawater. Here's the big guy where the propeller shaft will be connected right there. This is a major part on a marine engine, very complex to check and very expensive to change. Amongst all the parts that we've done with our mechanics, we did the whole oil system with the pump and the drain especially. And we change as well the distribution belts. We changes the pulleys and the whole system is now checked and or new. So you have two new pulleys there and the belts getting all around. In the end we will have to connect here and we have another pulley to put back on there. This is the generator. We also put back on the injection box, so this was from the new engine and all the injectors are now connected. One of the last things that we've done was the exhaust system with the exhaust pipe, which actually on our engine is more than an exhaust elbow kind of shape, and the exhaust manifold. And when the engine will be back on the boat, we will be able to connect the exhaust hose to go out with all the exhaust gas actually. It is always good to know how it works and being able to know what kind of thing we have to do and to do it. The other thing is to know what parts we have to get in spare before leaving, so we have the good spare parts with us if we need to change them. Okay, so this is the reward for all these hard working days. We know that sometimes it is harsh and the boat works are just getting us mad, but we usually have very, very amazing and beautiful sunsets here in Port Saint-Louis. This is some nice perspective. This is some nice perspective. This is some nice. This is some nice perspective. Oh, come on, je venais de le réussir. This is some nice perspective. Oh, come on!
Thanks to all of you for watching this step, another one to get Oriyo ready. We are so glad to read you every time and to welcome new people on every video. Don't miss our next episode. Since then, you can give a look on our Patreon page, subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a little comment. Take care. Bye bye.